The way this whole thing is being framed is that it's all about the personality.
So has the hinge, with the tolerance now and the tightness on the new one. I mean, it's hard to imagine that you could get it any tighter. And the nice thing here, you actually get an improvement in the lip location when it comes to actually lifting it open. But ultimately, it's gonna give you a nice, seamless hinge operation.
It's a new hinge, one that for the very first time on a Samsung Flip can, praise the Lord, close without a gap. Well, there is a tiny little hole here, but it's basically gapless. And this is a big deal. Because it's not just that it looks better and it's a less weird shape and it takes up less space, but it also creates less room for rogue particles and pocket dust to just find their way inside.
Main screen on the Flip, 6.7-inch FHD+, obviously AMOLED, and obviously 120Hz adaptive refresh. Now that external display, which saw the biggest upgrade, is now 3.4 inches, also AMOLED. It will be 60 Hz, and the PPI is 306. This year, the Flip gets a much bigger external display, and maybe I'll be convinced to actually give this one a shot. So as you can see here, this thing has grown significantly from the previous generation.
The screen is, I would say, not just a big jump, but the biggest jump since the very first Flip, specifically this cover screen. I mean, just compared to Samsung's last phone, it is 278% bigger. It now looks like a folder, and it can do a lot more. There's 13 different widgets available at launch, and they say there's more on their way. And essentially, each one is its own home screen. You swipe between them, and if you want to move quickly, you pinch out and you pick the one you want. And then while this inner panel is a 120Hz display that can ramp its refresh rate all the way down to 1 Hz, the cover screen, which is my other gripe, is locked at 60. And so what this means is that even when you're trying to use it in this super low power, always on state, this inner screen is now 25% more resistant to scratches. And the outer body is protected by Armor Aluminium and Gorilla Glass Victus 2, which I'm told has the strength of ceramic.
The camera layout. On the front, 10 megapixel selfie camera. On the rear, you've obviously got dual cameras, 12 megapixels apiece, one of them wide, the other ultra wide f2.2 and f1.8. The ultra wide is going to give you a field of view of 123 degrees, whereas the standard wide angle 83. Fun camera functionality, which allows you to use these external cameras here while having a display to monitor whatever you're looking at. Place it down onto a surface, frame yourself up.
Chip also has a slightly tweaked image signal processor, which allows the phone to take the data from the camera and process it in a way that Samsung likes. And that is the final key upgrade, the cameras. Not so much in terms of hardware. I mean, there's a new lens that's a little bit clearer and reduces sun flares, but it's more the software.
So the new Flip features Snapdragon's 8 Gen 2 platform. We move over to the Z Flip. It's 2 configurations, either 256 or 512 gigabytes. The whole thing comes in at 187 grams, 120Hz adaptive refresh. It will be 60 Hz, and the PPI is 306.
The storage has doubled from 128 gigabytes to 256. The build, though, is a win. It's thinner, for starters, about 2 millimeters thinner when folded up. There's an upgraded chip, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for Galaxy.
It's got 3,700 milliamp hour in terms of battery, and it can get a 50% charge in around 30 minutes using a 25-watt adapter.
This screen is refreshing like 60 times more than it needs to, so it wastes battery. The battery also benefits from this being a flip phone. I mean, it sounds bad on the face of it. This is a 3,700 milliamp hour cell in a market full of phones packing 5,000. But thanks to efficiency improvements, you can get an extra hour versus last year's Flip 4. And if you are actually planning to use a good mix of both the inner screen and the outer screen, then because the outer screen is so small, you'll save a lot of battery there.
The whole focus with the Flip device, in my opinion, is having a portable, small form factor thing that you can stick in your pocket.
It's all about the personality. Samsung's not really trying to pitch this front screen as a way to quickly check things. It's more as a tool for self-expression.